isn't falling off and it's Bill Belichick's fault. But let's look at this situation. Tom Brady pushed so Jimmy Garoppolo could not be there this year. Now, a lot of people go, hey, what's going on? And this guy isn't there. And like Skip Bayless has this whole theory about Bill Belichick sabotaging the New England Patriots. But I guess he's not paying attention to the fact that that's his own reputation on stake too. So why would he do that? That's stupid. That makes no sense. But when you look at it, when you take a step back and you take off your fan sunglasses and you stop trying to have a baby by Tom Brady, you realize Tom Brady may have handcuffed his franchise. See, it may be time to move on. See, at the end of his career, Joe Montana, he was forced to move on to Kansas City. At the end, a lot of people career they were forced to move on because you're no longer you're no longer Wolverine. You are you're Logan, which is still a very good superhero. You still, but you're no longer indestructible. The one or two passes that you got away with, either it's being tipped or it's being intercepted now. When you take that chance, John, they always saw it. Buck Bristol had to step in and win a couple games when he was injured. Tom Brady, I think he may be seeing it now. And you know, you as a Patriot fan, you can look at it, we're going to win this weekend. Okay. But is this the same Tom Brady? Do you give Bill Belichick, if you own this team, shouldn't you have given Bill Belichick the ability to do what he's done over the last 20 years? Remember, after the first couple Super Bowls, they get rid of Lawyer Malloy. Then they get rid of Jason Seymour. Then they get rid of Willie McGinnis. And we can go through the list of Pantheon great players. All-time great Patriots. People probably in their Ring of Honor or getting their numbers retired, and they moved on. Did the fact that the owner of the team is enamored with Tom Brady, did that play a role in his inability to let Tommy go, as they call him? Tommy is going to be a Patriot for life. Just because you have the ability to play at a high level may not mean that you are able to play at the level that you are need to play at to make us winners. We'll see this weekend because everything turns over. Every single solitary thing turns over. And this is what leads me to the last game I'm going to cover, which is Pittsburgh Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. This is a dude who's he's not on the Tom Brady level. He's in the elite quarterback conversation. But as I stated a second ago, Ben Roethlisberger, since it's been his team, they haven't won anything. You still had Ryan Clark there, Troy Polamalu there. You had my man Bell, the linebacker. You had a lot of defensive stalwarts on that team. And Ben used to benefit from that. But since Ben has been the focal point of the franchise, they continue to make the playoffs, and nobody acknowledges the fact that Ben keeps coming up short. I'm not even saying that Ben is washed up. I'm not even saying he lost anything off his fastball. But maybe they need to dial back some. And this is why that lie that you continue to hit and perpetuate, this is a running league, this is a running league, this is a running league. This shows you that it's not a running league. Because when it's a running league, you are looking at a situation. It's a passing league. Then Ben Roethlisberger should have won a Super Bowl by now. But every time Le'Veon Bell either gets hurt or absent, the Pittsburgh Steelers are a totally different team. What's that say about your passing league? The Pittsburgh Steelers are 28th in rushing right now. And y'all try to tell me that James Conner's doing a solid job. Yeah, he is. But you know what? When you go up 20 points and you had an offensive line the Pittsburgh Steelers have, and you had a big-time quarterback that the Pittsburgh Steelers have, and you had the outside weapons that they have, you use Le'Veon Bell and James Conner to salt the game over. This is why I'm going to continue to debunk that mentality of this is a passing league, because it's not. It's going to be, always will, and always has been a rushing league. I'm sorry, you're not going to get it. So, with that being said, I got a couple other topics to cover. You got Kelly Bryant. Now, for the very first time in NCAA history, we're seeing that the students are having a bit of power to exercise. And that would be the quarterback at Clemson, who's leaving by the name of Kelly Bryant. Kelly Bryant he waited patiently as a backup to backing up Deshaun Watson. And he hasn't had he had a concussion issue, and then he took them to the playoffs last year. And if you look at the numbers, him and the new stalwart upcoming gunslinger quarterback, he's coming in, he's the number one kid in high school last year, and he's getting his job taken away from him. So by it being game 3, KB said, I'm out of here, we're going to use the red shirt rule, and I'm gone. He stepped up and said he feel like he didn't get a fair shot. And of course, you have people, it's you didn't play this and you didn't play that. He didn't play bad. It's not a Jalen Hurts situation where this dude Tua is clearly better. It's a situation to whereas he's being hosed. Because, yeah, he may not be putting up the biggest, best numbers in the NCAA, but he's not putting up bad enough numbers to get benched. So we're going to see a lot of this in the future where people like Kelly Bryant are going to say, man, I'm out of here. But how about this? People like Kelly Bryant and other quarterbacks. Why in the hell, if you are a big-time quarterback, why in the hell are you putting yourself in a situation to whereas, well, Kelly Bryant couldn't help this, but why would you go to an institution where you would have to fight for a position when, like Alabama? Why are these guys piling up at Alabama? I understand that you create a situation whereas you might be getting a pipeline to the pros, but guess what, man? The scouts, they watching South Carolina football. Don't nobody even know anything about South Carolina football. They watching Northwestern football. This is offensive lineman. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head. Hinton. He played for the Falcons and a couple other guys. The Northwestern, his senior year, his last 2 years in Northwestern, they won. As a matter of fact, his entire career at Northwestern, they won 4 games. He was drafted 2 slots after John Elway. 2 slots after John Elway. The reason I'm saying this is, if you're good, they gonna find you, bro. So you don't have to flock to these football factories in order to get picked. It's just the facts. I don't understand why these young men pile up at one school anyway. I just don't get. Don't get me wrong. It's a next man up mentality. I get that. But why would you put yourself in a situation to whereas you would be put in a situation? It just does not make sense. His name, by the way, is Chris Hinton. Chris Hinton was out of Chicago. That's why I remember it, because he's from Chicago. And he was drafted, he came out of Wendell Phillips High School, went up to Northwestern, and was drafted 4th in the NFL draft. 4th in the NFL draft. If you don't think you can get picked early or picked in a good situation, this dude was picked right out the original Kurt Warner out of Penn State, Eric Dickerson. He was picked before the Chicago Bears Jimbo Covert. He was picked before the wasted pick called Todd Blackledge. He was picked Hall of Famer before Hall of Famer Bruce Matthews. He was picked before Jim Kelly. He was picked before Super Bowl quarterback Tony Eason. He was picked before Willie Gault. He was picked before Pro Bowl All-Pro Joy Brown, potential Hall of Famer. Hall of Fame running back Gary Anderson. Pro Bowl running back Gary Anderson. He was picked before perennial Pro Bowler Jim Jeffcoat. He was picked before solid quarterback Ken O'Brien, Matt Mosbar. He was picked before Dale Green and Dan Marino. And he went 4 for 48, I think. 4 for 48 in his college career. 4 for 48. Super Bowl defensive end, Leonard Marshall, Wes Hopkins, Keith Bostic, Roger Craig. He was picked before, arguably, a Hall of Famer, Roger Craig. He was picked before Bill Pickel. People say Bill Pickel needs to be in the Hall of Fame. He was picked before Pro Bowl cornerback Albert Lewis, Dave Dorson. So these are some of the people he was picked before, and he was picked on the lowly Northwestern Wildcats. So I just don't understand why you young men continue to pile up at one university and go, hey, what's going on? And I got to be at Alabama, because you really don't. You really don't. And now I'm gonna close out the show. We're gonna do a little baseball talk. Chicago Cubs for the third consecutive year in contention for the baseball playoffs. Big ups to the Cubs, big ups to the whole Cub Nation and all that stuff. But here's the thing that's tripping me out, man. As usual, playoff baseball is about to be on fire. Listen to this. Listen to this. You have the Chicago Cubs, who are half a game in front of Milwaukee Brewers, who are half a game in front of Colorado Rockies, who are half a game in front of the Dodgers. When you have that much of a logjam at the top of the situation, this means playoff baseball is about to be off the chain. A lot of y'all say, oh man, baseball is too long, I only watch from the playoffs. Well, if you only watch baseball in the playoffs, this is the perfect time for you to get in tune. Because there will be a play-in game, there will be several series, and we are going to see some things that we are not expecting. Now, everybody, one of the great things about this is the Milwaukee Brewers could potentially dethrone the Cubs and put them in a playoff situation. And if they do that, that would be awesome. Not because I'm not a Cub fan, it would just be awesome for the drama. But what we also need to pay attention to is this. The two hottest teams in all of baseball right now, the Milwaukee Brewers and the Houston Astros. The Milwaukee Brewers and the Houston Astros on a collision course for the World Championship. But what I want you to pay attention to is the fact that you're only one play away from everybody in all the sports being out of the situation. So, as I tune out, I'll get ready to sign off. We are looking at a situation to whereas it's going to be a very interesting next few days in baseball to determine who's going to win that National League Central Division, and then these playoffs are about to be off the chain. Before so, I want the last debate is Yelich over Boyd. It's going to be interesting. Who's going to be league MVP? Some people say whoever to win the division should get it. Some people say Yelich should get it. I'm going with the hometown cat from Chicago simply because we're looking at a situation where this dude is a second baseman who played third and short. He also got more than 100 RBIs, more than 30 home runs, and he's in Chicago, and that's it. With that being said, I want to thank everybody who's in the chat room. I want to definitely thank Kim Possible. I got Angry Black Man, aka Doc Bell, man. Don't forget, man, tune in tomorrow. The Doc Bell show is dope. Juan Goose in the building, Big Ant. Shocked that Joe from Houston and chime in. He usually always do. And anybody else who's in the chat room who didn't say anything, you weren't brave enough, you assisted. But I'm just kidding. But I want to thank everybody who listened, everybody coast to coast, city to city, border to border. I want to thank the people. I want to, as usual, thank James in California, Chris in Baltimore, Joe in Houston, Nas, Stacy, and Chris in Atlanta, Mike in Orlando. Who just said something? Somebody just said something. Thumbs up from Kim. Mike in Orlando. Big Juice. And everybody in Chicago land. I mean, there's too many people in Chicago to thank. Big Macy or whatever. Everybody in Chicago. I want to thank the people who are listening internationally, the people in Mexico, the people in Jamaica, the people in Sweden. Welcome aboard. I want to thank the people in Fiji, Australia, Korea, China, and Russia, the Philippines. I want to thank the people on the continent, Algeria, Ghana, and Guyana. I want to thank the people in Europe. I want to thank the people in Spain, Portugal. I want to thank the people in Germany, Ireland. I want to thank the people in France and Sweden. I want to thank the people in the United Kingdom. I want to thank the people in Norway. And everybody who reach out to me on Twitter, who support the show, much love. Thank you for their support. It's always welcomed.